Welcome to the warm-up and thank you for tuning in. I'm your host, Ted Madden. A month left in the season and it's time to separate the contenders from the pretenders. Let's get you ready for some football. It's been hard to figure out 16-6A this year, as last year's top dogs, Bridgeland and Cy Park, have a combined 3-9 record. However, Cy Ranch has a chance to cause some separation between them and the rest of the district on Friday. We take a look at their game and more in the lineup presented by Xochitl Chips and Salsa. Cy Ranch takes on Bridgeland at FCU Stadium this Friday. The Mustangs are 3-0 in district and are on a 5-game winning streak after an opening season loss to Katy Tompkins. The offense has put up half 100 or more in their last 4 games and has been lighting up the airwaves behind quarterback Blake Baker and receiver Jared Sample. If they can take down the Bears, Cy Ranch will be the odds-on favorite to win the district championship. However, don't count out Bridgeland quite yet. They stumbled out of the gates going 1-3 early on, but after their bye week, they have stiffened up on defense. In their 2 district games after the break, they've given up very little points. How about 0 points? Bridgeland has pitched 2 shutouts in the last 2 weeks, and their defense will hope to carry that momentum against a tough Cy Ranch squad. It seems like every week we preview another amazing 10-5A Division I matchup. So why stop now? Richmond Foster takes on Manvel Thursday in what should be another thriller. Foster is 4-1 in district, and the Mavericks are 3-1. The Falcons have hung their hat on the defensive side of the ball as they've given up an average of just under 5 points a game, and that includes 3 shutouts. They will try to move the ball on the Manvel defense behind quarterback J.T. Fayard. The Mavericks took an early district loss to Angleton, but have reeled off 3 wins in a row, and that includes giving Magnolia West their only loss of the season. Quarterback Caden Smith controls the offense, but look for big plays out of safety Jalen O'Neill in the defensive secondary.
Warm up your game day with the authentic flavors of ancient cooking. So thin, so crisp, so good. So chill.
Klein Forest pulled off a huge win last week against Klein Kane in the closing seconds. The Golden Eagles have a strong running game led by University of Houston commit Parker Jenkins. We caught up with Parker on the recruiting trail.
Hi, my name is Parker Jenkins, and I play running back at Klein Forest, class of 2023. The locality of it, I've always been a home person. I've never liked to go out like that. I'm more of a homebody. So, and figuring out those things that UH offered that I discovered that I didn't know that they offered, it leaned me more in towards UH and the coaching of Coach Jinx and him being new there and me being new there, we can start something new there. My leading. I've always been a nonverbal leader, but I'm becoming better at it. And my coach talks to me almost every day about becoming a better leader on and off the field because I have an impact on a lot of people that I don't know about. But he says it's always eyes on you, and I've seen it. I've had random people just come to me and say, "Hey, you're on Google and all of this. I've seen you on the news," and I'm like, "How did you see me?" And I didn't see myself. So it's just a lot, and I try to keep a high character of myself because you never know who's watching. When I first got to Klein Forest, I was kind of rocky because it was a new district. I've always been in Aldine, so it was like kind of hard leaving my childhood friends, and it was just a new experience. I wanted to stay with them. I tried to fight my mom with it, but she was convinced me. It was like, this is a good decision. You just have to believe it. And I'm glad we stuck with that plan because Blissings could have been at Eisenhower, but I'm glad I chose this path. It's been amazing. Since Coach Sanders them came, it was kind of rocky, but we stuck with the plan. And now with the new coaching staff, everything is coming out to what it was supposed to be. So changing the culture at KF, and it's the education comes first. I see like a lot of people standing in the hallways, and I just tend to just walk by them and just stay in my own mind because I know my goal at hand, and I know I have to stay focused. Any small distraction just takes me off that path, and doing your best. I know I'm not going to be the best ever in the world, but just doing your best, that allows you to become better every day.
Look for our cameras at a lot of big games this week, but unfortunately, we can't hit them all. Let's take a look at some games you need to watch for in the hype. It's one of the biggest rivalries in the area and usually helps shape the district. Pearland takes on Dawson this Friday at the Rig. Dawson is undefeated in district play, and they put on an offensive show last week against Straight Jesuit. Quarterback Colin Johnson threw 3 second-half touchdowns, while running back Bryce Burgess scored 5 touchdowns on his own. The Eagles face undefeated Shadow Creek next week, but absolutely no way they're looking past their rival from Pearland. The Oilers are 3-3 under first-year coach B.J. Gott, who came over from Peyto. After a loss to Shadow Creek, where they gave up a 14-point lead in the fourth, Pearland has won 2 straight as they head into the meat of their schedule. Running back Kennedy Lewis will try to gobble up yards against that Dawson D. Spring Westfield can all but sew up 14-6A with a win Thursday against Aldine Eisenhower. The Mustangs have been just incredible on offense this year behind new signal caller P.J. Hatter. The Mustangs' only loss came to the state's best team, North Shore, but Westfield has scored 50 or more points in their other 5 games. They need to stay fresh as they won't see much competition for the rest of the regular season. Look for another aerial display from Hatter and the boys. Eisenhower is trying to ease into the 4th playoff spot out of this district. They have Texas commit Ryan Niblett on the field, and when you have an athlete of that caliber, anything is possible. It'll be a tall order for the Eagles at 2-1 in district play to pull off the upset, but a strong showing against the powerful Mustangs could build momentum for the rest of the season. Last week, our defensive title belt headed over to Houston ISD as the Waltrip Rams completely shut down Madison. We talk more about that effort and who might win this week's belt in The Buzz. It had been 3 years since Waltrip beat Madison on the gridiron, but last week, the Rams defense made sure the streak ended there. Waltrip shut out the Marlins 45-0 as Madison could generate nothing on offense. The Rams have given up only 14 points in 4 district games and are clearly clicking on the defensive side of the ball. This week, check out the Woodlands as a possible title belt contender. The Highlanders are coming off 2 straight shutouts and haven't given up more than 2 touchdowns in their past 5 games. The Woodlands takes on rival College Park this Friday. That's going to do it for today's show. For even more high school football content, be sure to follow us on our social media accounts, including Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. I'm Ted Madden, and I hope we got you warmed up for all the action.